Just in a different direction.
Because what I like is just like, yeah, yeah, right. And I just
Okay, well, you know something? Every
You
time
know
I
something?
look up,
What?
the light has changed.
Oh, it's, yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't see those reflections of the trees, far trees, and now those far trees are like bathed in light.
Yeah.
And like 10 minutes ago, they weren't. And I'm like, okay, every time I look up, wait, I missed something. And then now I'm realizing the light has just totally changed on me. And
Yep.
I keep on erasing sections, blotting it out and then trying to come in and I'm trying to use bigger brushes.
Good.
That's why
Good.
my logs are like half the size of the painting.
It works for me, to be honest. I often have to work hard to get people to use a larger brush. They become so dependent on a small brush, and they treat it like a pencil.
Yeah.
And so when you have a big brush, there's a carp or something.
Oh.
Right there.
Yeah.
You can pretty much get almost everything you need out of a bigger brush if you know how to hold it, load it, and we can work on that together.
Yeah, the filbert brushes are very key for that because you can get the fine line.
All right, there we go. Now it's turning back to light and shadow. Don't you hate that? What time you got?
It's like 12:15 or 12:18.
I say we take lunch, a break at lunch.
It's 12:20.
12:20, right. All right, so where I'm going with this is,
yeah, so I've been trying to get the shapes, the color groups, because those sections of trees are one color group, then the farther trees away, they're lighter, and then
and grayer, more neutral,
and then the far trees, well, I was going to put some red in there to put them back, but now it seems like it's the focal point of the scene. So,
yeah.
And then of course my sky has totally changed because there was a slice of blue in there, and it's like,
if it were me, I would probably take the blue out and go with more of the sort of grayish, purpley in the darks.
Okay.
Just because you're starting to get banding occurring where this shape, that shape, and this shape are like the same.
Oh.
And are horizontal bands. So if you kind of made this more gray up here, I mean, we don't want this to be competing with that. I'm thinking aloud here.
Yeah.
I would probably just take the blue out for now. I would also look at these shapes here, these trees here, which diminish in scale. They're really helpful in terms of setting the rhythm into the space, meaning it goes a little yellower, a little greener, taller. Then it heads more towards a muted purple on the smaller one. That muted purple is going to cause the grass area here to kind of glow because it's a complement, purple yellow.
Yeah.
I'd also go ahead and make sure you get that distant hill in too. That purple statement right here is important. And may I?
Go ahead.
I would just avoid halos if you can. Halos are that white that's between, let's say, that the sky. This is the halo that I'm talking about. If you get rid of that, even if you're not even correct on the values, let's say you get rid of that, now that has a chance to sort of recede.
Oh, okay.
This is where that purple should go for the mountain, so you don't have these little pieces of little bits and pieces of white of this canvas showing without modification.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? It is possible to have these sort of halos or interstices if they appear everywhere in your painting, and there's sort of a equal treatment of that. It is possible to pull that off, and there is actually kind of a school of impressionists, American impressionists particularly, that would do that. They leave a little bit of their white canvas showing everywhere.
Yeah. But
it has to really be treated equal.
Okay.
You don't want to have more of it in one area and less of it in another, because then that interrupts the illusion of space or depth.
Usually I don't work in the size, I work in a larger size. And for me, that's the compositional
Yeah.
challenge because
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Right. You're just used to using the bigger shapes with the brushes. Yes. Okay. So I would look at that. I would take care of that, and I'd probably at this point I'd use the purple.
okay,
It's really the only purple out there,
right.
and even that is not as intense as you might think.
It's yeah, well, because it's so far back, it's
Yeah.
going to be neutralized.
And then we'll come back and look at the grass here.
Okay.
I assume, is this the blackberry? Blackberries above the grass? Is
Yeah.
that- okay.
And then I have those trees in there.
Yeah. I also
Good.
want to. Yeah, I want to see those trees marching that way. So you have a yellow tree in front of the dike, or on the dike, that's
Yeah.
in front of this tree mass.
Yeah.
Then you have another tree mass behind that tree mass, and then you have another tree mass there, and it goes from yellow, light against dark, yellow green, to most. I mean, the color and